I ask you, how far, how many feet is this plant from the river?
It's right there.
The boundary of the facility is approximately 200 feet from the ordinary high water mark on the Ohio River.
Do you have any photos of what the facility will look like?
We have some renderings. I did not put the renderings on the slides of the facility building, but they are in the drawing set here on the table. You know, if we don't have any more questions about the EPA's permitting process, I'd like to go through our presentation and then take questions afterwards.
I'm sorry, the microphone's still in my hand. What is the ordinary high water mark? What's that mean?
The exact definition, I don't know off the top of my head, but it is as far as I know, it is the water level in the Ohio River based on ordinary precipitation events, and it's established by the Army Corps of Engineers. That I do know, it's established by the Army Corps of Engineers. It is not the 100-year floodplain. The ordinary high water mark is not the 100-year floodplain, I can tell you that also.
And Matamoros is the highest spot on the river.
Right across the road, the rain gauge, the house down there, the reason it's split level of water and level, it's in the flood, 100-year floodplain.
Our house is too.
Okay, would you like to see the next slide?
The next slide, please, just for a second.
Any further question on the siting criteria? Again, the questions now should be related to the process, the EPA process. Other questions about the operation of the facility, we need to wait until after our presentation, please. Okay, can we pass the microphone down?
I'm not sure which category this would fall into because it really is, in my mind, part of the permitting. When you're looking at the distance of how far the facility can be from a national wildlife refuge, I'm looking at this as water, and water has a hard time with boundaries. And when I looked at the maps in the draft permit application that I picked up from the Ohio EPA office, which has been scanned and will be available for everybody, there's a spillway there. This is in a floodplain, and there is a spillway that goes directly into the Ohio River, which is our drinking water. And so I'm wondering, how do they designate that 500 feet? Is it from the nearest building, or does it include the potential pathway of migration of the waste products? I'm sorry, products.
It is from the waste handling area, which is, in this case, going to be the building pretty much.
Okay.
Okay, one more question here.
You had mentioned about the Army Corps of Engineers that you looked at the floodplain for this permit. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that the same as the National Flood Insurance Program of the maps that are on the internet?
Yes.
And is that Zone AD?
Yes.
It is?
Yes,
Okay.
and as a matter of fact, ma'am, we applied to FEMA for a remapping, I'll call it a letter of map amendment, because when we studied what the 100-year floodplain elevation was at the property and looked at the elevations on the property, we were actually several feet higher than the 100-year floodplain. So we asked them to revise their map, which they did. They provided that documentation, and it's included in the permit application.
Okay, when was that?
It was within the last 4 or 5 months.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, can we go on to the Weavertown presentation?